Do you feel uncomfortable when players on the enemy team purchase an operator or two? Maybe you're uncomfortable playing aggressively. Want to have a better understanding on how to deal with passive players? Well, today I'd love to cover some of the ways you can play more confidently and comfortably when operators are on the playing field. I want you guys to come out of this video with a better understanding of why these tactics work and what other operator players are going to look to do. It's important to know that there is no one-size-fits-all for every situation, but knowing a few of them can help transform yourself into a more experienced Valorant player. From my experience, the fastest way to improve and climb the ranked system is by learning how to play confidently against all types of weapons, agents, and situations. Learning about the operator is one part of a great journey. Hi, my name is Renox, and today I'll be your own personal guide on these techniques. It's my pleasure to share with you these useful ways to use the operator. No matter what happens in Valorant, if you're confident in your ability to deal with all things that may come your way, you will be the carry of your team. I believe the ability to understand how you control the annoying pace of operators is something all players need to know. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to comment down below which setting you found the most interesting or useful. Also, if you feel like we missed anything, comment what wasn't helpful and what you'd use to help deal with those pesky operators. Before we dive straight in, as always, we have our question of the day. How do you guys feel about the new agent being released? Personally, she seems extremely strong. She has abilities that seem in between agents like Sova and Breach, and from my experience, that alone will make her a very potent character. I can't wait to test her out, as well as the new map Icebox. Tell us what you guys think in the comments down below. Jump spotting is one of the most important mechanics that I see players lack. Although I'll cover how important it is at baiting out operator presence or shots, it goes way beyond that. If there's one thing that will help you the most in this video, it's understanding how and why jump spotting is so strong. Let's start with why it's so useful. Simply put, the closer you are to a wall, the earlier an enemy will see you before you're able to see them. So by jump spotting close to the wall, you will show a small part of your body and you will distort the player model in a way that makes it extremely difficult to shoot and capitalize on. Additionally, the minimap shows enemy players before you can visibly see them with your character model. You can use this to jump spot enemies without even visibly seeing them. This technique is extremely useful, as you don't always have the luxury of utility or extra help from your teammates to deal with a pesky operator holding you down. So by doing a proper jump peek and looking at your minimap, you can often see if there is an actual enemy holding that position. The easiest way to do this is by holding the W key, jumping with that momentum, and full swinging back around with your mouse movement. Let me quickly showcase the easiest way to do it that doesn't require any counter movement, which I could cover in a more advanced guide. By jumping forward and dragging your mouse movement in 180 degrees motion, you essentially jump in a half circle. Regardless if you're playing passive or aggressively, doing this when you have the time can help you secure free information without using utility. Later in this guide, we'll talk about how to use your utility to deal with operators or passive angle holds in a more concrete manner. You can also head on over to ProGuides.com, where you can chat with our coaches and find one that can suit your needs. They can help you learn key techniques like this in real time and will definitely increase the speed at which you learn. Once you have learned how to successfully pull off a jump spot or a peek, the next step is also being comfortable shoulder peeking, coupled with bait shooting. This is especially useful to learn if jump spotting isn't getting you the value that I described earlier. If you are pitted against a strong operator player, using a jump spot alone may not fool them. However, if you couple that jump spot into a quick shoulder peek and a few bait shots, they will usually think that you are swinging them. Once you hear the shot fire, you can take some space, because the operator has a fairly long amount of time between each shot. The more you do these techniques and get used to the operator pressure, the faster you'll react to that shot and properly take the space that they've given up. Again, both these techniques are fairly advanced, so it will take quite a bit of time to master. Start off doing them in customs, deathmatch, or the practice range, and then start adding it into your ranked games when you feel comfortable. Outside of using the two movement-based options that I discussed earlier, understanding how to use your utility to push off operators is just as important. You can obviously use any type of utility straight up to clear them out without doing any jump peeking or shoulder peeking, but I think it's all about having a layered game style. If you can jump peek or shoulder peek to confirm your suspicions that an operator might be posted on the angle you're contesting, you can now quickly use some sort of utility. A big issue that a lot of players have is that they aren't sure how to deal with the operator because they are uncomfortable using utility unless they are 100% sure it will be effective. If you have that worry, using these movement techniques can often provide free information that can set you up for your utility. So now you can camera, dart, drone, flash, blind, slow, nade, etc. that player off of the angle. Even if you haven't baited a shot previously with a jump or shoulder peek, you can take space off the utility if used safely. You can even do another one of those peeks if you feel that the operator player is stubborn. In the cases that the enemy is using jet, where they are more comfortable playing aggressively, you will probably have to do this more often to make them fall off. Okay, do you ever feel like you flash around corners, peek the enemy operator, and still die? Do they kill you while they're still flashed? Well, the best way to avoid dying in these situations is to start using your flashes with your teammates or for your teammates. Instead of purely relying on your own flashes, stuns, or blinds, try using them to set up peeks with your teammates. By doing this, even if you die, you create an opportunity to trade. On the other hand, you can flash your teammates in first because it allows for a quicker peek. Why? Because using any ability will not allow you to instantly peek, as there is a delay from swapping back to your weapon and shooting. By flashing for your teammates, they already have their weapon out and can quickly punish enemies that may be flashed. A big reason why many people die while peeking with their own flash is because the peek isn't as fast, so the timing for the enemy can be much more predictable. This allows them to pre-fire you before you even get the chance to fire back. Some abilities this tactic applies to are Phoenix's Flash, Breach's Flash, Reyna's Leer, Omen's Blind, and Breach's Tremor. However, you can do this with many other abilities, even the ones that I didn't mention. This can also work similarly with an Owl Drone, Recon Dart, Nade, Roomba, or a Cypher Camera. Allowing yourself to peek off other players' utility or set your teammates up with your utility can be a big step forward in general outside of just dealing with annoying operators. Once you can start pushing the operator off of the more aggressive or close angles, if they are hiding but not holding angles that can directly peek into you, a big adaptation is learning how to play silent or off contact. This strategy is something players at lower ranks do unintentionally. I'm talking about the situations where players will not use anything to give away their forward aggression with their utility. By creeping onto site and not going fully loud until you've been spotted by an enemy, you can find some cheeky kills if you've done some of the previous concepts covered in this video. Let's say you've pushed off an operator or a general player with utility, or maybe some sort of baiting technique. You may find yourself in a situation where you can walk up and take a lot of space because they are waiting for your utility before they peek. This is obviously a high-risk play, but can work wonders when done at the right time and place. Try paying attention in consciously doing this and why you think it could work in a given situation. So I've covered how to bait out an operator, why it works, and some other things that are great with it. Now, I want to go over one of the ways that you can peek with the intent to kill that is a great mix-up a lot of players aren't ready for. Basically, if you swing and quickly crouch on a player that has their crosshair ready for you, it will almost always be aiming at head level, so quickly crouching as you swing them will make it much more difficult for them to react and change their crosshair to hit your head. Again, this is something done in specific situations like this. It's also equally important to know that you shouldn't be using this as your go-to swing, but rather something you pull out to throw the enemies off guard. If all else fails, you can always try and avoid the operator completely. Ask yourself this: is the player going to the same side of the map, or are they constantly swapping around? If you're not entirely sure about the answer to this question, that's when using jump peeks or shoulder baits can really help. Still, learn to use these effectively and you can start implementing in utility or swings to either fall off or push forward off the space. If you are finding out where the operator is without dying, and you're dying to it after you try using your utility or different aggressive swings, this is where you should be looking to avoid it completely and either pressure or commit to that side of the map. It's okay to make noise and do things quick if you've been taking your time in previous rounds. Something I like to always remind you guys is to keep things unpredictable, so the enemy is second guessing what you may or may not do. At the end of the day, practice makes perfect. Putting in the necessary amount of time and focusing on the right ways to improve will allow you to have a huge step up over the competition. Learning these few techniques and properly implementing them into your playstyle can greatly increase the amount of options you can start comfortably employing into your ranked games. If there are any tips you feel helped, be sure to comment and tell us why. Additionally, if there's anything we missed, please let us know. We love to learn more too. That's all that we have for this video though. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. To stay up to date with us, make sure to hit that bell notification, which ensures that you stay up to date with our videos and ahead of the competition. If you want to learn more about anything Valorant related, head on over to ProGuides.com for the best Valorant on-demand coaching. Our coaches are among the very best, and we hope you check them out if you enjoyed this video. They will help you with any of your individual concerns and maybe even help bring your play to the next level. If that's not your style, make sure to check out our Discord. We have a great community where you can chat, hang out, and possibly find some friends to play with. Stay tuned for our future videos and keep up the grind, ProGuides fam.